Welcome everyone, Simon here from the Wales of Wall Street, trying to plough some videos out today when I have some time. MultiVac is on our radar. In a nutshell, no major news, so this is going to be about the chart. I'm going to try and smash through a few chart videos this fine rainy day again here in the UK. So guys, MTV, no roadmap yet. Still no roadmap. Time is ticking. Will it be arriving in February as we thought it would be? We're approaching the last couple of weeks now of February, maybe even the last week actually. It's the 19th. Can you believe like we're at the end of February already? That's absolutely mental, isn't it? We literally got like a week and 2 days, guys. So let's see how that plays out. I think people are definitely waiting in anticipation. Of course, markets in general are quite stabilized at the moment. We're sort of in this like decision making area where there's loads of narratives going around in the world, news wise, and the charts are looking relatively healthy. We've had those low areas, haven't we? And then it's been taking itself up quite nicely across a multitude of different projects. We look down here, we had a complete bounce back here, back to these lower levels, back here in January at this 0.006 mark. But we took ourselves, look at that, very nice rise actually. In fact, I'm just going to check the price range rise from those lower regions up to there. That's really good, guys. 120%. It's not until you bring the charts out that you realize where these price points have been coming from and going to. So really interesting to see that for sure. I wasn't aware of that, so that's good to check that out. At the moment, on a retracement, back down so far to 23%, nearly 25%. What am I doing personally with MTV? Well, obviously waiting for the roadmap. I do think the roadmap's going to have a nice intake of volume for sure, as people go, oh wow, okay, this is what MTV's doing. Because since as we know, earlier in the year, or at the end of last year, actually, literally the last day of the year, we had a changeover of CEO at MTV MultiVac. So we're waiting for the team to reorganize itself. We're waiting for the roadmap to come out to see just about what MultiVac is going to be up to in 2022, and maybe even further than that as well. So I do think that's going to have a positive impact for sure when that arrives. And you might even know like a couple of days before, because we might start seeing some really interesting moves, but let's wait for that anyway. We're currently on this macro level fib retracement, coming down to test this 9 cent region. Look at that price on there. It's pretty much bang on, isn't it? We have indeed today so far had a low of 0.0089. So our buy order actually is in just around 0.87, I think I put mine at. So not quite hit that yet. It's not a gigantic difference to the price that we see now to where I have that buy order, but I'm just waiting. I've been buying MTV at these lower regions. It's an incredible project, and I'm happy to hold out for this. We have a lower buy region here, back down around the 7.5, so 0.0075. Sorry, just to be clear on that, those that are listening, not watching. And that kind of tails around that macro level here that we have. But I always like to go a bit lower just in case we have a touch point down. Will it come lower than that? That would be really disappointing if that happens. Of course, it is possible, but I would love to see new higher lows for MTV, and especially at the time scale. I mean, it'd be great timing, wouldn't it, if we get that new lower high and a bit of a bounce back, and then maybe, just maybe the end of February, we get that roadmap kicking in to put ourselves even higher, or indeed start testing these levels up here again at the 1 cent level. It was a shame that we couldn't support at that area, but to be fair, it would have been too soon. But I would very much like to see at least a bounce off, as a minimum, this area at 0.0077, or indeed where we are right now at 9 cents. So either of those two would be fantastic to see, but we're going to have to play this out over the next few days, guys, to decide whether this is indeed a new support area or we're coming back to here. But I do anticipate we might drop a bit lower than that, but putting itself back up, that's a really good indicator for a good positive move moving forward. Down 9% on the week, which is understandable from the profit taking. But look at that, up the month, fantastic. 55% on the 3 months, so we're slowly bringing that number down. Of course, as I said in many videos already, that is reflective pretty much in all markets at the moment. Over a 3 month period. The 6 months is looking really positive. It's still in red, but it's only 9% now in 6 months. Fantastic to see. And year to date as well, dragging finally slowly but surely upwards. If these can get a green, brilliant news. Still 1400% up on the 1 year. Really good positive stuff here, guys. And I'm sure MultiVac will come out with some great news in the coming weeks. RSI wise, like I said, I'm waiting a bit more for it to come down further. These are slightly mid-range for my liking, meaning that in that middle ground, there's still a good chunk to potentially come down with as well as up. So that's why I think about this support area is very interesting to identify. But over these next couple of days, if it does stabilize, you're probably going to see that 14-day and the 28-day come down anyway. But if we do have a small reduction as a sell-off, I don't anticipate a big one. You're probably going to get a repeat like we saw here in the early January and the end of January. So I don't think it's going to last too long. I think when that roadmap kicks in, I really believe that it's going to pull up. But yeah, the RSIs at the moment are looking mid-ground, very positive still. But I'm more looking at that on the 14-day in particular, and probably the 28-day actually, because they're quite reflective right now. Around 45, that would be a really good indicator to take the first purchase point for me personally, and that's probably where we'll see, like I just mentioned, at that 0.0087 mark, and maybe slightly lower than that for the lower region, which might be where we see a 42 mark, or indeed maybe a 40 on the RSI. But that's the second goal. We're going to focus on the first one. You can't predict. You can sort of have a rough prediction, as it were, like a guideline, but in general, you can only really go with data that you see from history, support lines, resistance lines, but more importantly, those kind of trend lines of trying to find the new higher lows. So they're the areas that we're looking at. I'm going to keep that buy area in at that top level and bottom level where we draw on that wonderful box that I put in there for the anticipation of MTV. So we looked at the RSIs, as I said, it'd be great to see if we stabilize at this current level. But I'm still on the anticipation as we enter towards those payday days. We always do tend to sometimes get a bit of a drift off when people run out of money, or indeed maybe trying to save themselves with trying to pull money out of investments to pay for things. Sometimes you do get a bit of that for sure. But yeah, I think I'm just wondering if we can stabilize here, because people will be very much rubbing their hands waiting for that MultiVac roadmap to enter our visual eyesights on our screens. So guys, that very much wraps up MTV. Like I said, I've got loads of videos to try and get through today. I'm trying to catch up on so many projects. We will do more tomorrow as well. But guys, that is what we're doing with MTV right now. We're waiting for those moments down the lower regions. Let's see if it happens. We will catch up with MTV on MTV Monday. Let's call it that, shall we? But until then, guys, thanks for watching this one. Sorry it was short and sweet, but we're to the point. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on Monday. Bye-bye.